All right. Getting that fired up. I see Facebook. All right. Good morning. And make sure our Facebook audience joins us here. Good morning. Hey, Shortly. Hey, everybody. Check on into the stream as we're firing it on up, getting Facebook going, getting YouTube going. Comment in the chat where you're tuning in from. Where are you guys watching from? Welcome to Mercado Media. We're live. We're live now. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Maria. Hello, everybody. And try to get Facebook shared out there. Facebook, we gotta get the algorithm pumping. Gotta get the algorithm out there. Hey, Caleb, we got Iowa tuned in. Got my coffee going. Good morning. Hello. United Kingdom, Greensboro, North Carolina, Topeka, Kansas. You are tuned in to coverage of the war in Ukraine. We've been covering it since day one. I had to take 10 days off. I got moved into my new apartment. So if you've been wondering where the hell I've been for a little over a week, which seemed like a month, that's where I've been. I've been moving into my new place. So I'm doing that still. Oh yeah. I had my safety meeting. I can't have my safety meetings in here anymore. I need to get a vape. But Brisbane, Australia, Ohio, Caledonia, Wisconsin. Good morning. Grants Pass, Oregon, in the neighborhood. Connecticut, United States. Welcome, everybody. Hey, everyone. So, again, we have a stream going in the morning and in the evening on the 9s. But, of course, I schedule it if I'm running late. You'll see, just hop into the YouTube queue. We schedule both streams ahead of time, so feel free to head to the video on YouTube and get a notification. Even if you like Facebook, YouTube, you can get a notification, so you're just reminded, and then head over to the Facebook page, because we always multi-stream. You thought I was in YouTube jail? No, I'll do better about posting videos, too. I need to get better at that. The one thing you'd think is creating videos would be easy, but talking to a live audience for me is way easier to do than make video. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't talk to nobody. So that's something I need to work on, and I'll start posting more videos to the YouTube channel for you guys. YouTube updates. But anyways, all right, y'all. Anyways, spam those reactions. Follow the page. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for checking in. Let's go over the latest. Let me pause the music. All right. Mariupol City Council says Russian mobile crematoria have started operating in the city. Russians recruited locals to collect the dead bodies and burn them. So these are the latest updates. This can be found in the description of our video. More than 330 Russian diplomats have been sent home from Europe. Many Russian diplomats and oligarchs in different countries are getting sent home. They're getting expelled from the country. Ireland supports Ukraine's application for EU membership, says the Prime Minister. Germany is already discussing security guarantees with Ukraine. They are confidential. There are no specific agreements yet, and said the German Chancellor. The Czech Republic has sent tanks and infantry fighting vehicles to Ukraine, becoming the first NATO country to provide the heavy armor Kyiv has been calling for. So the Czech Republic has sent tanks. They have provided tanks. Luhansk Oblast governor, former mayor of Rubizhne, helps Russian occupiers find pro-Ukrainian activists. Not only did Serhiy Hortiv side with Russian occupiers, but he also shares with them information about residents with a pro-Ukrainian position, Governor Serhiy Haidai said. So he was like a Judas to his own people. The Luhansk Oblast governor. He was given pro-Ukrainian positions, sharing with the Russian side. Probably a puppet governor to Russia, likely, just like the old president to Ukraine was. Russia continues to contest the besieged city of Mariupol with airstrikes, driving a worsening humanitarian situation, United Kingdom Defense Intel. Most of Mariupol's 160,000 remaining residents have no light, comms, medicine, heat, or water, and Russia is preventing humanitarian access, Ukraine's emergency ministry says that the search and recovery efforts began in many destroyed apartment buildings in the Borodianka, Kyiv region, and that is regards to the title of our video. So getting right into it. This is in the Borodianka region in the Kyiv Oblast. Thank you guys again so much for choosing independent media, viewer-funded, crowd-funded media. I don't have any sponsors at this time, so all of our viewers and you guys are the sponsors. So Borodianka, let's look up exactly where that is in the Kyiv region. Because again, like I said yesterday and the day before, these regions are clear from Russian forces, so now they're able to get in there. In terms of press and media and officials, yeah, this is even further to the northwest. So the outskirts of Kyiv to the northwest, right over here. Here's Kyiv. The Russian forces had this whole territory occupied, all the way up to Chernobyl. And they had to the northeast as well. You guys can see the latest update is the Russian forces have been expelled from the Kyiv Oblast and the Chernihiv Oblast and the Sumy Oblast, it seems. They're over here. They're over to the east. They're even got less of a foothold around Kharkiv now, to the northwest. They really only have foothold. They really only have foothold to the north now. To the north of it, so they have even less area. Likely going to be focusing more on just go right back into the Donbass, huh? Reignite that, because that's the only propaganda that they have is 8 years worth of people not really paying attention to what's been going on here. So they can fall back on lots of propaganda points, which they have been already. They've been giving that away. And then they have Crimea, which has been annexed since 2014. What's this here? Here's Kherson. They're losing ground. They're falling back into Kherson. They were up around Mykolaiv here, but now they're just completely pushed back. And then here's Mariupol. This is Mariupol down here, southeastern port city. I need to there we go. Wait. Hold on. Oh, it's doing okay. I need to see what this is doing. 1 second. There. I was wondering what was going on behind me because I have the green wall, so it was given the lights are green, so it was given a green screen effect. But this is Mariupol down here, southeastern port city. And then Borodianka, which is where more images are coming out to this morning, is here to the northwest of Kyiv. All right, video.
Ми можемо приступати до розбору завалів лише тоді, коли пройдуть тут піротехніки, вибухотехніки і перевірять територію на наявність небезпечних предметів. Тому, як тільки дозволили, рятувальники Київщини, рятувальники міста Києва у складі зведеного загону вирушили на допомогу і по розбиранню завалів і пошуку, можливо, потерпілих людей. У рятувальників Київської області у них надходили дзвінки на лінію 101 коли ставалися обстріли, і теж знаходилися люди, і вони повідомляли, де вони перебувають, що їх засипало. Тому в першу чергу відпрацьовуємо ті будинки, з яких нам телефонували.
One more time. So cleanup efforts. This is outside of the Kyiv, the city of Kyiv. They got cleanup crews out there now, cleaning up rubble. Aftermath. They're able to get up into these areas now. They were Russian occupied. Good morning.
Ми можемо приступати до розбору завалів лише тоді, коли пройдуть тут піротехніки, вибухотехніки і перевірять територію на наявність небезпечних предметів. Тому як тільки дозволили, рятувальники Київщини, рятувальники міста Києва у складі зведеного загону вирушили на допомогу і по розбиранню завалів і пошуку, можливо, потерпілих людей. У рятувальників Київської області у них надходили дзвінки на лінію 101, коли ставалися обстріли, і теж знаходилися люди, і вони повідомляли, де вони перебувають, що їх засипало. Тому в першу чергу відпрацьовуємо ті будинки, з яких нам телефонували.
All right. Shout out to our Discord server too. Discord, go ahead, check on in. It seems the Chechen forces have, what's this? Kadyrev's TikTok army. The Chechen warlord. Yeah. There's been many viral clips of this. This is the Chechen forces. They do lots of content on TikTok. That's not a joke. Like, I know there's been like the TikTok war. The TikTok war is really coming from this unit that Russia's using. Kadyrev's TikTok army. They do videos. Like, it's, I don't know how else to explain it. They do content. And it seems they continue, so I don't know where they got those swords. They probably stole those from a museum. Here's more footage coming out of Bucha. The invaders demolished fences with tanks and looted houses. So this is aftermath videos now of just the time that Russia forces were in the city. Haven't been able to get video out of Bucha, Irpin in weeks now, but it's coming out.
Грабили все, вот мы видим, въезжал танк, вот остались следы от гусениц, проломлена изгородь, то есть они вот так вот проламывали заборы, пробивали калитки и заезжали, вламывали двери. Вот здесь тоже был какой-то пролом, здесь тоже заезжал танк, такая надпись «Здесь люди», но это наивная надпись, потому что на самом деле она никого ни от чего не уберегала. И вот здесь тоже видим пролом, то есть проезжал, очевидно, тоже танком снесли. Вот здесь гусеницы, следы от бронетехники. Вот танком просто въезжали во двор, все сносили. Здесь стоит машина поцарапанная, побитая. И вот здесь они пировали. Вот здесь даже остались какие-то шмотки, тоже их тельняшки, там это. Мы такое не трогаем, потому что здесь могут быть растяжки, да и вообще нафиг это надо. Ну и здесь вот разграбленное жилье чье-то. Все дома такие. Вот, ага, они бухали, здесь вытянули вискарь, как бы. Вот разграбили все, что могли. Здесь какие-то игры вытаскивали. Вот стоит как настольная игра, пытались украсть. Здесь вот какие-то тоже сумки лежат. Здесь вон тоже вещи вытянули. Это они жрали, сидели здесь. Вот тут разгромлено все. Курили кальян, вытянули. Вот жрали свой паек. Русская армия. Здесь Вон вытянули все, что спали, как животные, вытянули матрас.
Wow, look at that. You got bed right when you walk in.
Сюда спали здесь. Мы не будем заходить дальше. Это чужое жилье, и тем более здесь может быть тоже и
Look
заминировано
at that. They got a chill spot in their yard.
все. Вон шампанское вытянули на него.
Oh, look at the German. Excuse me. Freudian slip. The German army. The Russian army.
Успели выпить.
Look at the way they party. They party. This is more evidence of it. Just like at the videos we were seeing coming out of Bucha 2 days ago, near a campfire outside the back of a house, you saw Jack Daniels, vodka. You saw the.
Вот, просто я показываю вам картину, как выглядит после этих свиней.
They were having a party back
Это
there.
натуральная вот орда просто дикарей, которая ворвалась, все крушила, грабила здесь вокруг. И вот эти дома, вот я показываю здесь, вот здесь все так, оно все вот так вот разграблено. Вот вытянули рюкзак чей-то, бросили. Как бы что-то унесли с собой, что-то не унесли.
One more time.
Здесь грабили все, вот мы видим.
I do play clips twice because if you haven't noticed, every time I play a video, the algorithm spikes because videos spike an algorithm. So we get new viewers, and welcome to Mercado Media if you're just joining us. So I play clips twice because we get new people that might have joined in halfway through a clip and then they get to see it again from the beginning. So that's why I play clips twice. There are no more live feeds in the city. The Ukraine government cracked down on that a couple weeks ago on all live feeds. We even were in contact with a civilian resident in Kyiv who had given us permission to use his live feed, and the government had came and told him that he has to stop. He's not in trouble or anything serious. They just told him he had to stop. He didn't know. Lots of OPSEC reasons. They don't want Russia firing and adjusting because we were watching live feeds. We're in the city of Kyiv watching it live, so that creates a lot of OPSEC issues. But also at the same time, it's also understandable how that sucks for less information being available. That's what happens in war. Less real information becomes available, and the control of information becomes stronger, or like the will to control information from each side.
Здесь грабили все, вот мы видим въезжал.
Not saying that they're equal, or that each side's will for controlling information is equally justified for it. Like Ukraine has to control information because Russia's invading them. It's not that they want to, but understandable for OPSEC, operational security.
Танк, вот остались следы от гусениц, проломлена изгородь, то есть они вот так вот проламывали заборы, пробивали калитки и заезжали, выламывали двери. Вот здесь тоже был какой-то пролом, здесь тоже заезжал танк. Такая надпись «Здесь люди», но это наивная надпись, потому что на самом деле она никого ни от чего не уберегала. И вот здесь тоже видим пролом, то есть проезжал, очевидно, тоже танком снесли. Вот здесь гусеницы, следы от бронетехники. Вот танком просто въезжали во двор, все сносили. Здесь стоит машина поцарапанная, побитая. И вот здесь они пировали. Вот здесь даже остались какие-то шмотки, тоже их тельняшки, там это. Мы такое не трогаем, потому что здесь могут быть растяжки, да и вообще нафиг это надо. Ну и здесь вот разграбленное жилье чье-то. Все дома такие. Вот, ага, они бухали, здесь вытянули.
So there's Jack Daniels. So he's showing all the evidence of how. So I don't have no idea what he's saying, right? Because I don't speak the language. But just he's showing items that they were back here partying. They parked a tank. They parked their tank, and then they were back here in this house partying.
Вот здесь даже остались какие-то шмотки, тоже их тельняшки.
They being the Russian army.
Там это. Мы такое не трогаем, потому что здесь могут быть растяжки, да и вообще нафиг это надо. Ну и здесь вот разграбленное жилье чье-то. Все дома такие. Вот, ага, они бухали, здесь вытянули вискарь, как бы. Вот разграбили все, что могли. Здесь какие-то игры вытаскивали. Вот стоит как настольная игра. Пытались украсть. Здесь вот.
Anybody know what that is? Looks like a game. It's a goal. Football. Look at the foosball. Like a mini board game version, it looks like.
Игра. Пытались украсть. Здесь вот какие-то.
Looks brand new. It's in a bag. Are they trying to steal that or what? Looks like it's a brand new box.
украсть. Здесь вот какие-то тоже сумки лежат. Здесь вон тоже вещи вытянули, это они жрали, сидели здесь.
The closed captioning works for him talking. Does it translate in English? On YouTube?
Вот тут разгромлено все.
And then here you got the hookah, MRE.
Курили кальян,
Part of me, okay. There's been a few videos now where they're showing evidence of the parting, which is clear, but there's an MRE. There's been like one single MRE at each location.
вытянули, вот жрали свой паёк. Русская армия. Здесь вон вытянули все, что спали.
And then inside the house. Okay, so likely they pulled that out of the bedroom then.
Животные вытянули
And we're sleeping on it.
матрас. Сюда спали здесь. Мы не будем заходить дальше. Это чужое жилье. И тем более здесь может быть тоже и заминировано все. Вот шампанское вытянули, но не успели выпить.
Yep. That's a hookah bomb.
Вот, просто я показываю вам картину, как выглядит после этих свиней. Это натуральная вот орда просто дикарей, которая ворвалась, все крушила, грабила здесь вокруг. И вот эти дома, вот я показываю здесь, вот здесь все так, оно все вот так вот разграблено. Вот вытянули рюкзак чей-то, бросили. Как бы что-то унесли с собой, что-то не унесли.
All right. Continuing on, video proof. Russian command did order its soldiers to dig fortifications near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the radioactive Red Forest in March of 2022. Complete neglect of human life, even of one's own subordinates. This is what a killer state looks like. So it's heavy language because it's coming from the defense of Ukraine, but they're showing drone footage of the fortifications that were dug near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, and many of the Russian soldiers have radiation sickness now because there's still radiation. There's still radiation there in the Chernobyl region. That's that's the power plant. Oh my god! Imagine like being in a hole there. It's hard to see. It's so potato. It looks like it's a big system of dug in fortifications. Right off the road. Wow, that's wild to think that there's radiation in the ground that far away still too from, I mean, it's still a distance. There's still a distance away from the power plant to think that there's radiation in the fortifications in the ground. That's wild. Roasted radioactivity for real. For real, what is this here now? 2 days ago, the operational command east of the Ukrainian army posted. Actually, let's check John first. I promised the audience we'd check John's latest updates. Check into the stream if you guys haven't. Comment where you're tuning in from, what city and what state, where in the world you guys are watching. Whoa. Talking on Putin podcast, recorded in Kyiv. Already he's doing podcasts in Kyiv now. Did he do is that his updates now? No. That was 3 hours ago. Oh my goodness. John is sharing a lot of, oh man. I'm done showing things from Bucha. We saw plenty of it. I can show this too again. The other video, I'll show that after I show John. The Stugna P takedown of the KA-52. John, oh my goodness, sorry. We're done looking at dead humans from Bucha. We saw plenty of it for 2 streams worth. So we're going back to the policy we had before, but John's sharing all of it, understandably. He's there. So this is from 4 hours ago, day 42, how to show the reality of war. He might be talking about that right now. He might talk about it in his diary. Spam the orange hearts in the chat on Facebook and the orange beanies. He's got his orange hat still. John Sweeney on Twitter. Follow him. Support his journalism there.
Vladimir Putin's war. The electricity is still on. The internet is still on. There are no Russian tanks on my street or anything like it. And I'm still wearing my lucky orange hat. Life is getting back to normal. Still, there are some fiddly things. I've just been to buy some eggs, and there are no egg boxes and not enough. So what you've got to do is buy the eggs and then wrap them with cling film. And there was me and a queue of nice old ladies, and we're all waiting for this process to happen. And you can imagine why. It's because the egg box factory is somewhere being blasted to bits somewhere. And at the same time, you look at this city, you look at this street, Krashatik, and you think, what happened? It's some kind of nightmare. But the nightmare's for real, and in Bucha I saw it with my own eyes. And there's an issue about pictures, which lots of good people back home in London, around the world, are going, oh, please don't show those pictures. And I kind of get it, I understand it. But at the same time, I saw a man who had been executed, a bullet to his forehead, during the Russian army occupation. I also saw another man that had been shot in the back of the head. Now these are war crimes against civilians. Multiple incidents of this. But I think there is a problem with comfortable people in comfortable places in the West not truly understanding the depth, the intensity of the agony here. And so I think it's necessary for people to realise the reality, the truth of war, to see some of these pictures. I know it's difficult, but it's so much worse for poor people there. Hey, love from Kyiv.
One more time.
Kyiv Diary, day 42 of
Yeah, this is John Sweeney on Twitter. He also posts on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. Just search John Sweeney on YouTube, and he posts these. Where is it? Sorry about that. Right here, or Patreon as well. Yeah, he's sharing some graphic photos on his Twitter. So trigger warning on his Twitter page for real.
Vladimir Putin's war. The electricity is still on. The internet is still on. There are no Russian tanks on my street or anything like it. And I'm still wearing my lucky orange hat. Life is getting back to normal. Still, there are some fiddly things. I've just been to buy some eggs, and there are no egg boxes and not enough. So what you've got to do is buy the eggs and then wrap them with cling film. And there was me and a queue of nice old ladies, and we're all waiting for this process to happen. And you can imagine why. It's because the egg box factory is somewhere being blasted to bits somewhere. And at the same time, you look at this city, you look at this street, Krashatik, and you think, what happened? It's some kind of nightmare. But the nightmare's for real, and in Bucha I saw it with my own eyes. And there's an issue about pictures, which lots of good people back home in London, around the world, are going, oh, please don't show those pictures. And I kind of get it, I understand it. But at the same time, I saw a man who had been executed, a bullet to his forehead, during the Russian army occupation. I also saw another man that had been shot in the back of the head. Now these are war crimes against civilians. Multiple incidents of this. But I think there is a problem with comfortable people in comfortable places in the West not truly understanding the depth, the intensity of the agony here. And so I think it's necessary for people to realise the reality, the truth of war, to see some of these pictures. I know it's difficult, but it's so much worse for poor people there. Hey, love from Kyiv.
So he said that he understands why, showing those extremely graphic images, and we did yesterday and the day before from Bucha. Here's the latest situation in Ukraine, if you were wondering. So the red is Russian occupied territory. They've had Crimea since 2014. They've had Donetsk and Luhansk since 2014. Well, not officially. They've had puppets in there. Puppet governors, but Putin declared the independence of this region before invading, so that's why it's solid red around it. But all of the Russian forces that had been to the northeast and to the northwest of the capital city, because they were trying to take the city of Kyiv, they were trying to take the capital. That failed extremely. And the Russian forces have been expelled. Well, they failed to gain any ground to get any closer to Kyiv, and then they have retreated to the east now, and they're in the eastern region of Ukraine, near Kharkiv, the Donbass, and of course Crimea, Kherson, and then the only city they have not taken yet that is still being held by Ukrainian forces is Mariupol. The city of Mariupol to the southeast in the port. So someone had asked if Russia has been out of Ukraine yet. No, and they're not going to be for a while. They're going to be hanging out down here for a while now again, to the southeast and to the east. They got pushed away from Sumy as well. They don't have any foothold around Sumy. I'm shocked that city held as well. They were surrounded, that city, the city of Sumy. It looked like Chernobyl was surrounded as well, and it didn't get taken. Here's Chernobyl. So this is the latest of what Ukraine looks like in terms of the Russian invasion and the Russian occupation of Ukraine. And how far they've gotten. Not very far. They tried it. They did for the last 38 days. They were up here. 35 days, I should say. As far as they got into Kyiv was day 3 or 4. It all kind of blends, but they got as close as the zoo inside of the city. So here's the zoo they had gotten. The Russian forces had gotten there. And then here's where John, where we were watching his diary and all of the live streams we used to watch. Those are all in here. Those are all in here. So they were very close in the beginning, but that's the furthest they got to the city center. Let's continue going. How's everybody doing in the chat this morning? Good morning. It is 10:28 a.m. here in Minnesota and 6:28 p.m. in Ukraine.
Whoa.
This is a video from social media. A man films his destroyed apartment building and his apartment that were hit with the Putin regime terrorist airstrike in Avdiivka and the Donetsk region. So this is in Donetsk. Down here.
Вот где-то
Вот так вот. Это выход из подъезда. Вот квартирка был вход. Вот. И вот второй этажик мы видим. Вот второй этажик над этой квартиркой. А вот мы видим соседнюю квартирку. Ну вот так приблизительно. Вот. Это вот вход в подъезд. Так, чтобы было понятно. Вот. Ну и вот так, наверное. Еще. Вот. Так. Вот это второй подъезд. Вот это первый. Вот так вот. Можем туда пройти во второй. Вот. Тут вот первый подъезд насквозь.
All right, one more time.
Первый этаж. Вот. Вот где-то вот так вот. Это выход из подъезда. Вот квартирка был вход. Вот. И вот второй этажик мы видим. Вот второй этажик над этой квартиркой. А вот мы видим соседнюю квартирку. Ну вот так приблизительно. Вот. Это вот вход в подъезд. Так, чтобы было понятно. Вот. Ну и вот так, наверное. Еще. Вот. Так. Вот это второй подъезд. Вот это первый. Вот так вот.
So again, that's a man films a destroyed apartment in Advidka in the Donetsk region. Ukraine emergency services have managed to successfully rescue an elderly woman from the ruins of her home in Rubizhne in the Luhansk region after her home was destroyed by a Putin regime terrorist airstrike in Russia. Excuse me. A Putin regime terrorist airstrike in Rubizhne. Rubizhne. Oh my goodness. Rubizhne. Right here, here's Luhansk and Donetsk. This is a destroyed Russian equipment in the Gostomel in the Kyiv region that's up here. So this video is from over here now. Here. North of Bucha and Irpin. Just looks like a graveyard of vehicles. All right, more pictures from Ukraine police showing the destruction caused by today's MLRS shelling of Volodar, Donetsk region. Murdered at least 2 civilians and wounded a dozen. Where is this here? Volodar right here. To the southwest of Donetsk. Here's Mariupol. So this happened last night. The United Kingdom has imposed a full asset freeze on Russia's largest bank, Sberbank, and committed to end all imports of Russian coal and oil by the end of 2022 in retaliation to Russia's continued invasion of Ukraine. UK imposed a full asset freeze. Do we have any mods on YouTube? Might have to add some on my mod. I don't know where they're at. Let's just do United Kingdom. Oops. United Kingdom. News. This is from Boris Johnson. Was this a day ago? Yes. Boris Johnson. You deserve the truth. You deserve the facts. So here's from United Kingdom.
Сияние достойной правдой. Вы достойны того, чтобы узнать факты. The atrocities committed by Russian troops in Bucha, Irpin, and elsewhere in Ukraine have horrified the world. Civilians massacred, shot dead with their hands tied, women raped in front of their young children, bodies crudely burned, dumped in mass graves, or just left lying in the street. The reports are so shocking and so sickening, it's no wonder your government is seeking to hide them from you. Your president knows that if you could see what was happening, you would not support his war. He knows that these crimes betray the trust of every Russian mother who proudly waves goodbye to her son as he heads off to join the military. And he knows that they are a stain on the honor of Russia itself, a stain that will only grow larger and more indelible every day as this war continues. But don't just take my word for it. All you need is a VPN connection to access independent information from anywhere in the world. And when you find the truth, share it. Those responsible will be held to account, and history will remember who looked the other way. Ваш президент обвиняется в совершении военных преступлений, но я не верю, что он действует от вашего имени.
All right, that's from Boris Johnson. I need to find out about the sanctions. Maybe I do United Kingdom sanctions. So I don't know that we saw a tweet about it, but there's nothing in the last day about London, April 4th. British Foreign Minister Liz Truss is set to call for tougher sanctions on Moscow. Moscow. I was told you got to say it. Moscow. Moscow. During a visit to Poland on Monday following evidence of civilian killings in Ukraine, which she blamed on Russia. Truss's visit comes as the world reacts to images from Bucha showing the bodies of civilians lying on the ground in makeshift graves after the town in northern Ukraine was retaken from Russian troops. The Kremlin categorically denied any accusations related to the number of civilians in the town. Moscow, stop saying Moscow. Moscow has denied targeting civilians and has said similar reportings of killings were staged to sully Russia's name. Reports of shallow graves outside Kyiv are truly horrifying, Truss said on Twitter. We will not rest until Russia has paid the price for these appalling crimes. As part of her visit to Poland, Truss is due to meet Ukrainian Foreign Minister Kuleba in Warsaw on Monday and her Polish counterpart Zbigniew Rau on Tuesday. Britain has helped lead the way with sanctions to cripple the Putin war machine. We will do more to ramp up the pressure on Russia, and we will keep pushing others to do more, she said in a separate statement announcing her trip. A tough approach from the UK and our allies is vital to strengthen Ukraine's hand in negotiations, added Truss, who will head to Brussels later this week for talks with G7 and NATO. Continuing on, we got an air raid alert in the air raid alert sirens in the cities and towns of Chernihiv, Poltava, Cherkasy in the Kharkiv region. Shelters in the last half hour. This deranged, apparently a higher up in their primitive hierarchy, decided to part ties with reality and directly blames Western media, especially Americans, in taking part in the Bucha massacre. There's no translation. Do we have a translation? I know the propaganda is tough to listen to all the time, but again, it's important to see what the message is. This is, I was right. Kadyrev's TikTok troops. Knew it. So, they likely robbed a museum or a toy store. This is the Chechen troops, the warlord Kadyrov. He does a lot of TikToks. He does content creation. Some I've seen refer to him as a clown, but here he is. Here's his unit. Yeah, they do video. They make. I'm not kidding you. They do content in the war zone. Here's the big cats from the Kharkiv Expo Park. Lions, jaguars, and black panthers are being evacuated to other zoos in Ukraine. So here's an update from one of the big cats from the Kharkiv. Here's Kharkiv, which is huge because that city's so war-torn. Here's Kharkiv.
Львы с тиграми практически полностью загружены. Вот осталось загрузить 2 клетки. Завтра отправляем 5 бурых медведей. Киська, Мурыська, потерпи. Киська, потерпи. Львы с тиграми практически полностью загружены. Вот осталось загрузить 2 клетки. Завтра отправляем 5 бурых медведей. Киська, Мурыська, потерпи. Київська, потерпи.
So, evacuation of big cats from the zoo. You saw that? Oh, wow. Really quick, just local news in Minnesota, just really, really quick. I know a lot of you guys tune into Minnesota news. Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman announced that there will be no charges filed against Officer Mark Hanneman, the officer who shot and killed Amir Locke. So I know we were covering that heavily before the war kicked off. I haven't had any updates until that. So no charges filed against Mark Hanneman. I'll have to do a live on that one. Talk about that. That's wild. All right. Civilian volunteers had found evidence that the... All right, I don't... Oh, no. We're not going to see that. Stray dogs? No. Terrifying CCTV footage of civilians desperately trying to get away to shelter as the deranged Putin regime terrorists are launching a heavy MLRS barrage towards their city of Severodonetsk in the Luhansk region. So this is in the Donbass. Wow. Listen up. All right. So again, I know a lot of y'all in the chat. We're gonna do a live on Instagram and talk about that. There's many in the chat that have no idea what that is, and they're here for the war in Ukraine. But I'm gonna go off about that. There's lots I want to talk about with that. Lots of things, and we'll talk about the Amir Locke situation on Instagram after this stream. Look at that. Look at how they just... Where do they go inside of the... Luckily, that hit the middle of the street. Another one. Look at that. Look at that one hit the building across. They're hiding in this one. I know, the pressure wave too. You're right. The shock wave of that across the street. That's just unreal. The other, so we can go back to, if you missed it. We can do that. Here's this, a town cut off from in Ivankiv. Where's this? Let's look this up. In the Kyiv Oblast. Right? It's a Kyiv town cut off from the outside world until yesterday. Yeah. Look at, they have rivers all around it, bodies of water. Ivankiv. So again, these are more of the cities to the northwest of Kyiv that were up. This is on your way to Chernobyl. Chernobyl's right here. So we're starting to see more images and pictures coming out of this region due to the fact that Russian forces have been expelled from this region, and journalists and press are able to get in there and take pictures and video now. And humanitarian efforts are able to be facilitated through the region. So temporary bridges, which again, likely Ukraine blew up the bridge, all right? Because early on in the war, the reports far and wide were that Ukraine was blowing up their own bridges to prevent Russian advance, which makes sense. So although I know they were cut off from the rest of the world, or excuse me, they were cut off from the rest of Kyiv, likely Ukraine blew up that bridge to prevent Russia from advancing on Kyiv. So they were cut off, but probably fog of war from Ukraine's own artillery on those bridges, which in a sense, it looked like a key city. Ivankiv, what is this? Now, Ivankiv, if they would have gotten through here, they would have been able to cross. We would have been talking about a lot of towns here on the way down to Kyiv. Yep. We'd have been talking about a different towns and cities. They would have been able to connect all the way through here. So it might have been crucial to take out those bridges. And where is this here now? We get the music. In the Kharkiv region. So a bunch of Russian destroyed equipment. Oh, look at that. Oh, they just had to add that part in. The farmers trying to see what kind of parts they need. There's their tractor. Compilation of vehicles in the Kharkiv, along the Kharkiv region. Here's Kharkiv on the map, and then we'll go through it one more time. Skirt. Kharkiv right here. City that's seen some of the worst fighting, or excuse me, some of the worst artillery barrages, I say genocide on civilians. Not really too much. Actually, we should separate war zone and genocide. There's lots of genocide being committed in Kharkiv. Lots of artillery barrages on civilians in that town, in that city. Mariupol, a lot of the civilians are gone now, and it's just a battleground here at this point. There was a genocide being committed when the civilians were there. A lot of them are gone now, and it's a war zone in here. So, genocide town. There wasn't any back and forth in the town. Russian column sits completely destroyed west of Kyiv city. The Russian column sits completely destroyed. I wonder if this is from one of the viral ambushes we've seen on Russian convoys. They just drive around it, huh? You've got to, I suppose. Where is can we get a Russian column sits completely destroyed west of Kyiv city? Oh, I got a good video for you guys too. It's along the highway. I wonder if we could get a geolocated coordinates and then we can look at it on maps. Here's a good video for you guys though. A dog from Bucha has been returned to its owner. So this dog was in the city of Bucha. Here, where the viral images of all the bodies are coming out. Dog been returned to its owner. Dog been returned to its owner. Su-25SM fighters of the Russian aerospace forces over the Donbass. So this is to the east, the Donbass region. You're probably seeing lots of fighting again. Video of fighting again to the east, which when that happens, Russia is able to fully propagandize the war now, because they've been propagandizing this region for years now. So that's a concern, y'all. That's a concern. Anybody covering the war or trying to find the most relevant, accurate information coming out. The Russian forces are being they failed near Kyiv, so now they're being pushed into the region in which Russia has the most foothold for propaganda, which is, so it's a good thing that they're being pushed back from Kyiv and back away from the capital, but also not a good thing, and because they're gaining more of a foothold and their forces are being pushed into the region in which Russia has propaganda going. They have a whole layered system of propaganda for the Donbass, and it's getting to the United States, and then the United States, including, unfortunately, some people that I even know are falling for it, and they're getting all the information that they're receiving is just about Mariupol and what's going on there, as if that's the entire country of Ukraine. It's wild to me. But the Russian forces are being pushed into this region, and Russia has so many years of propaganda and narrative around here. It's gonna get gross, and the information war is gonna get tough here in the coming weeks. Just wait on it. Yeah, you don't see air combat much. I mean, you've seen videos of air combat in this war, but yeah, this is air combat. Excuse me, you haven't seen just videos like this. I had a thought for a second, and I keep reminding myself on how different the United States military is, and I was just thinking how different the war in Afghanistan and Iraq would have been if with all this social media and video. But at the same time, you in the army, at least, I can't speak on the other branches because I didn't serve in the other branches, but you leave your phone in your wall locker. You don't bring it with you. It's OPSEC. You don't take video, and you don't post on social media. Like, we're trained that. It's a whole briefing you got to do. You learn about it that we have to sit through. It's one of the classes that you got to sit through, pre-deployment classes, multiple OPSEC classes. We do not take video and do it's just different. We don't do this, and if you do, you get lit up. All right, this is in the Komoranovka village. Komoranovka village. All right, this is near Shugav. Where is this? Let's do a viewer check-in. Comment where you're tuning in from. How you guys doing? Let's do a station check-in. You guys are watching Mercado Media on Facebook, Mercado Media on YouTube. Welcome again to the stream, you guys. A viewer-funded stream. I'm not sponsored by anybody but you guys, the viewers. Thank you so much for your stars, the super chats, all of your support. Thank you everybody that's a member. Thank you everybody that's a supporter. Thank you everybody that's a Patreon subscriber. All of that. Make sure you guys also follow on Instagram, because I'm going to be talking about the Emir Locke decision later. If you guys know what I'm talking about there, or if you're interested to hear about it, follow me there. I can't go live on Facebook, on my personal Facebook. I'm banned for 30 days for posting an April Fool's joke. Mark Zuckerberg put me in Facebook jail for that. So we got Houston, Texas tuned in, Vancouver Island, Canada, Massachusetts is tuned in. Welcome, Arizona. We're still going. We're not done yet, but we're just doing a viewer check-in, station check-in. Edmonton, Alberta, New Orleans, Louisiana. Welcome. Welcome. Great job as always. Thank you so much, Dwayne. Thank you. Share the stream too if you guys haven't. Spam the reactions. Spam the likes on Facebook, or the hearts, or the care react. You hit the share button in the bottom left. Help the algorithms on Facebook. YouTube, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss a stream. Make sure you have your notifications turned on. We go live at 9 p.m., 9 a.m. Colorado, Indiana, Perth, Western Australia, Melbourne, Australia. And if I'm late, I always make the stream is a minimum of 3 hours long. All right. So we started at 9:45, so we go till 12:45 today. However long I'm late, I add on to the end. But it's a minimum of a 3-hour stream each, in the evening and in the morning. We got Sonora, California, Duluth, Minnesota is tuned in. Welcome, Michigan State, Mansfield, England, Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Also, everybody, join our Discord server. It's in the description. We have our nighttime audience is more awake on there, it seems. But go join our Discord server. We have a Ukraine war channel. In a war room, you guys can share relevant and accurate information, and I'll pull it up on the stream. If you guys have links or an article you want me to pull up, or a video or a clip, I'll click it and pull it up. OPSEC means operational security. OPSEC, operational security. Loose lips sink ships, basically. Yep. Shout my Minneapolis people. How you doing, Minneapolis? We got to talk about the Emir Locke situation after this stream. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it here on YouTube or on Facebook, because I can't. I got to save it for these, but I can go live and talk about it on my Instagram. So here, follow the Instagram. I'll pull it up on the screen so you guys can go follow it. Definitely have lots to talk about here about that. The Guru Merc, if you haven't noticed, I kept my username the same for many platforms to keep it easy for you guys. 100%. I know with lots of different usernames, it's hard to keep track of what I'm at and where I'm on, but this is my username for damn near everything now at this point, for my personals. So you're going to hear opinions, and I'm not going to be covering anything. It's going to be my opinion. All right. That's what I do on my personal platforms. Personal platforms, personal opinions, and if I share opinions while I'm covering the news here, I make sure you guys know that it's my opinion, and it's not coming from a place of found factual evidence and empirical data. It's coming from my intuition or guessing or opinion. But I'll let you guys know that, so you guys don't think that I am coming from a place that has evidence. But I will be sharing opinions based upon evidence, and we went through body cam footage, we went through all of it, and we'll definitely be talking about that on Instagram. My opinion, yes. All right, back into the news here. In Ukraine and the Czech Republic, an aggressive psychopath and his lady attacked peaceful activists who blocked the road in protest against non-imposition of an embargo on Russian energy carriers. So we have peaceful activists. So this is evidence of just how the war is affecting other regions in the world. The peaceful activists blocked the road in protest against non-imposition of an embargo on Russian energy carriers. So there wasn't the Czech Republic didn't impose sanctions on Russian energy. So activists blocked the street. All right, there you go. So this is a protest against the non-action of the Czech Republic, that their government didn't do anything against Russian energy. Yes. Keep in mind, the United States, we got our congressional midterm elections this year. You guys think that this war isn't gonna, dude, just wait on it. What was that, Migos? Just wait on it.
Kampaně -3 stupně Celsia pro Ukrajinu. Tuto kampaň organizuje skupina Extinction Rebellion. Je to vlastně cílem té kampaně je snížit závislost na energii, protože tím financujeme vlastně Putinovu vládu.
Chceš to zahodit?
Že pomáháme financovat i včerejší událost, kterou byl seznámen světu. Třeba byli civilisté nás podporovali
This guy's failing with everyone. He's just walking right back. All right, so protests against Russian. You see how it's being met with some of the civilians in Czech Republic. An aggressive psychopath and his lady attacked these peaceful activists. Yep. Blocked the road in protest against non-imposition of a Russian embargo on Russian energy carriers. So you got a peaceful protest in the Czech Republic, or a peaceful protest, I should say, not protests. The Czech government isn't imposing sanctions on Russian energy carriers. Insolent. Someone wrote insolent Britain. It's insolent America too. The Mosir cars stolen by invaders in Ukraine were found. A Renault truck and a Chevrolet car. All without numbers, but the letter V pasted on. What's this? In Romania, in Bucharest, a man rammed his car into the fence of the Russian embassy 11 hours ago. In the Russian embassy in Romania. Drove his vehicle right into the embassy. So that's two happenings on like a Russian establishment we've seen now, where we had a guy in Moscow. He threw a Molotov at the building. He threw a Molotov cocktail at it, and now this... Oh, 3 times. Can't forget the guy in Ireland who drove his truck through the gate. So 3 times, I apologize. The guy in Ireland. That epic moment. Ukraine must agree on statuses of Crimea and 2 independent republics of Donbass. Their status is obvious, Russia says. A rally in memory of the dead civilians of Ukraine is taking place near the Georgian parliament. So this is what's called a die-in. They're mimicking the hands tied behind the backs that we saw from Bucha. I've been saying it wrong for a while now. I gotta correct myself. So this is a die-in protest to a rally in memory of the dead civilians of Ukraine taking place near the Georgian parliament. So this is in the country of Georgia. Right. Some scenes from Borodianka today, a booby trap bomb left in a washing machine by Russian troops who slept in the house. A man who told me about his detention by Russian troops for 15 days. 11 men, four are still missing and digging for bodies under a bombed block. You can tell this is a Ukrainian troop by the blue band. The blue on them. It's a brand new washing machine. Still got the sticker on it. Pictures are tough. U.S. is prepared to discuss any serious concerns North Korea has if Pyongyang returns to dialogue. What does that mean? I don't like when accounts just post like a headline as like as their status and they don't give like an article to link to. In the Kyiv Oblast, civilian cars with shots in the windshields and okay, we're not going to watch that. 2 dead bodies in it. Here it is. The U.S. is enacting new sanctions that target Russia's largest banks, families of top Russian officials. Didn't we do this a month ago? Apparently this is new. New U.S. sanctions target Russia's largest banks and Putin's children. The U.S., European Union, and group of 7 nations are enacting, so the G7 group, are enacting new sanctions on Russia in response to the civilian toll reported in Bucha and elsewhere in Ukraine in recent days. The U.S. sanctions target Russia's largest banks, families of top Russian officials, including Russian President Vladimir Putin's adult children, state-owned entities, and any new investment in Russia by U.S. nationals. We will document and share information on these atrocities and use all appropriate mechanisms to hold accountable those responsible, the White House said in a statement announcing the new measures. Sanctions are being enacted on top Russian officials and family members, including Putin's adult children, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's wife and daughter, former President and Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev, and Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin. The actions of U.S. include full blocking sanctions on Sberbank and Alfa Bank, freezing any assets touching the U.S. financial system, and prohibiting Americans from conducting business with them. A senior administration official briefing reporters Wednesday morning pointed out. I don't know why that sentence just isn't computing in my brain properly. A senior administration official briefing reporters Wednesday morning pointed out that this extends beyond assets in dollars. Russia will also be prohibited from making debt payments with funds under U.S. jurisdiction. The administration will force Russia to choose between draining its available funds to make debt payments or default. President Biden will sign an executive order to ban new investments by Americans in Russia, whether they are in or outside of the U.S. There will also be prohibition on any American doing transactions with Russian state-owned entities, which the Treasury Department will detail on Thursday. An energy carve-out remains with these actions. Asked about the effectiveness of sanctions to stop the war, the senior administration officials said they are never a standalone solution. The U.S. announced an additional $100 million in defense to aid Ukraine this week, but Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky continues to decry the Western response to recent revelations of civilian devastation as lacking. So that's from NPR. New. Fresh off the sanctions 3.0, 4.0, and however many sanctions there's been now. Here's from the Associated Press. So definitely NPR and Associated Press are two sources you can trust for sure. Definitely. You can, too easy to look into the writer as well if you want to go further and then just see what they've written. But for sources, AP and NPR are solid. Washington, by the way, everyone uses Associated Press's reporting. All of the big mainstream news channels. They literally, this is what they do. And they go like this. Copy. And then they go to their website and then hit paste. And then they just credit Associated Press. So just go to Associated. I would just add Associated Press if you haven't to your media. If you watch the news often, add their articles to your reading list. The United States on Wednesday announced sanctions targeting Russian President Vladimir Putin's 2 adult daughters. So this is looks like the same article that NPR took. The European Union also expected to soon take additional steps, including a ban on new investment in Russia, embargo on coal. Yep. Here's some new words. The penalty cut off all of Putin's close family members from the U.S. financial system and freeze any assets they hold in the United States. President Joe Biden said in the latest round of sanctions would be devastating. So these sanctions are going to be devastating. The last ones weren't devastating. These ones would be. I made it clear that Russia would pay a severe and immediate price for its atrocities in Bucha, Biden said in a tweet. Biden was expected to sign an executive order that would ban new investment in Russia by Americans no matter where they are living. The U.S. Treasury Department would prepare more sanctions against Russia's state-owned enterprises, according to the White House. Britain announced asset freezes targeting Sberbank and Credit Bank of Moscow and designed 8 Russian oligarchs whom say Putin uses to prop up his war economy. Together with our allies, we are showing the Russian elite that they cannot wash their hands of the atrocities committed on Putin's orders, British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss said. Britain had already announced a plan to phase out Russian oil, which counts for 8% of the United Kingdom's supply. Russia is the top supplier for imported coal to the United Kingdom, though British demand for the polluting fuel has plummeted in the past decade. Britain has not ended imports of Russian natural gas, which accounts for 4% of its supply, saying that only it will do so as soon as possible. Videos and images of bodies in the streets of Bucha after it was recaptured from Russian forces have unleashed a new wave of indignation among Western allies who have drawn up new sanctions as a response. The European Commission's proposed ban on coal imports would be the first European sanctions targeting Russia's lucrative energy industry over its war in Ukraine. The EU Foreign Affairs Chief Joseph Borrell said energy was key to Russian President Vladimir Putin's war coffers. €1 billion is what we pay Putin every day for the energy he provides us since the beginning of the war. We have given him €35 billion. Compare that to $1 billion what we have given to Ukraine in arms and weapons. So it's a compare and contrast on how much money goes really towards the Russian energy in contrast to how much has been given towards the war effort in support of Ukraine. Anybody trying to draw a narrative, because that narrative that NATO countries are helping Ukraine, it's More money's being given to Russia on a routinely basis. The steady intensifying in sanctions. The steady intensifying in sanctions is a less sign of their shortcomings than the building pressure against Russia as it seeks foreign investment in basic goods. Brian Deese, director of the White House National Economic Council, told reporters at his Wednesday breakfast. Wednesday breakfast with Brian Deese. We need to have patience and perspective when it comes to the impacts on Russia of this unprecedented and crippling sanctions regime. Unprecedented and crippling sanctions. How many times have they said unprecedented for the word? Like, I feel like we've seen unprecedented and sanctions for, what are we on, day 43, 44 now? How many more unprecedented sanctions are they going to come out with? Like, my goodness. Sequels are not good. Just get it right the first time. Deese noted that Russian inflation is running at 2% weekly, which would compound to annual inflation above 200% annually. He noted that the Biden administration expects Russian prices will not ultimately rise more than 200% this year. While the White House has said Russia should not attend the G20 meeting in Indonesia this November, he noted that it may drop out of the organization anyway because its economy has shrunk in size So they won't, their money, they can't sit at the table. They don't have, Russia's money isn't good enough anymore. So you got to have money to be at G20. How many different world organizations are there? G20? So there's the G7, which is where these sanctions are coming from. You got the G20 in Indonesia, the UN, the EU, the NATO. My goodness, so many world organizations. None of them are really stopping Vladimir Putin, though. I'll tell you that. Angus, thank you so much for that. Britain has already announced a plan to phase out Russian oil, which accounts for 8% of the UK supply. You read that part already in the other article. See if there's any other information in here that wasn't shared in the other article. This new package of measures proposed by the Commission also includes sanctions on more individuals and 4 key Russian banks. We know that. I swear the banks have been sanctioned already. I swear we've had sanctions on Sberbank. I've definitely read articles about Sberbank getting sanctions. So, increased sanctions on Sberbank then. Further targeted export bans worth 10 billion euros in sectors covering quantum computers, advanced semiconductors, sensitive machinery, and transportation equipment also were proposed. I appreciate the strengthening of the 5th EU sanctions and package bans on Russian coal, vessels accessing EU ports, and road transport operators. Western allies have already cut several Russian banks out of the SWIFT financial messaging system, which daily moves countless billions of dollars in more than 11,000 banks and other financial institutions around the world. So, more sanctions. Unprecedented sanctions to the already unprecedented sanctions. Looks like more scopes were, or sites were delivered. The amount of technology, even just in, I'm sure they have PAS 13s, they got thermoscopes. The advantage that they have. All right, so here is Chechen forces in Mariupol from the 31st of March. The RPO A Shmel in use. What is this? This is a weapon system. You thought those sanctions were bad. Meet these sanctions. RPL A Shmel is a man a man-portable disposable rocket-assisted flamethrower. What in the hell? A thermobaric flamethrower. Is there like a YouTube video on it? No audio?
We've just added
Yeah, no audio.
We've just added
Okay.
2 new
Okay, no, we don't. I needed one with audio.
населенных пунктов. По оценкам российских...
Okay, that's not gonna do it. Just Wikipedia, I suppose. The RPO-A Schmel, a rocket-propelled infantry flamethrower, is a man-portable disposable rocket-assisted flamethrower. It is classified as a thermobaric warhead rocket launcher by some in the West. Wow. So it's like it's like a Dragon's Breath rocket launcher, really. Like anybody's the Dragon's Breath shotgun that shoots the flame shells out of it. Here we go. They're showing it being made or what? No, I need to. There we go. So they hit their target and then they burn it. Look at how the round ejects. So that's the Schmel. Looks in contrast to what Ukraine has. I mean, it's a thermobaric weapon. It's got the like a flame. The flames come out of it, but so this is the Chechen forces, the TikTok army. And it's the nickname for it because they post TikToks and do things like this. That's RPG-7. That's not it. So this was the, what is it called? The Schmel? The RPO-A Schmel. No, this is the RPG-7. Two different shoulder fired rockets. Another RPG. Yeah. Look at that. See how the flame... Yeah, it is banned. It's a thermobaric weapon. I know it's banned. See how the flames are still coming out of it? Fuck that, dude. Who would even want to use that? Backblast area clear. Excuse the... Look at the flame. The flames come out of the back of it. Are you nuts? And then it's still on fire afterwards? Oh, hell no. So, thermobaric rocket. The Schmel. What is this here now? A bearded woman, cozy village from 50 miles or 50 kilometers from Kyiv, April 2022. Top view immediately after the expulsion of the Russian world and Russian butchers on tanks. Destruction, blood, and tears, and the hundreds of missing under the rubble. A cozy village 50 kilometers from Kyiv. Wow. No, not a phosphorus round. No. No. White, it's not. White phosphorus is different. It's not white phosphorus. White phosphorus is illegal, though. $50 kilometers. What city is this called? Let me see. I wonder if I can copy paste. Bearded. Why is this translated to bearded woman? Is that just the... Anyone know in a cozy village 50 kilometers from Kyiv? I wish we could find it in maps to see what it looked like. Anyone in the Discord? Trying to find this on the map so we can see it. Borodianka. Could be the highway. Nope, narrow road. Try to find the roundabout. Right here, right? Huh? Yep. Right? Yeah, there it is. So this is in Borodianka. Here's that statue. And this picture was taken in 2015. So you got it from the sky, and we can go down the road. Looks like there was buildings built there. Again, this picture was in 2015, so those apartment buildings aren't there. Let me close this out. All right, let's go down the street. Maybe there might be an updated picture as we go. Likely not, though. I can't go that way. That's the way we need to go. We need to go that way down the street. We can go over here. We don't have a street view over here. Here's like the end of the street. that the street right here, the street view is gone right now. We can get to like the end of the street, and that's about it. That's the road that the video's on. Just video coming out showing what it looks like now. This is just aftermath of 40 days of war and bombardments. So it's not like this happened. It's not like there was one event that caused all of this destruction last night, right? Like this is just, they're able to get up into these regions now and take video and get pictures of what it looks like because there isn't any Russian occupation up there anymore. There's no more, the Russian forces are gone from up here. They're all to the east now. Right on the road is that? Oh, no, all right, so there's that building and okay. There's a monument there. Can't go on any of that part of the road, huh? Can't get any view of that. That's along here. Sorry you're late, all good. So the only thing that I can get is the roundabout to verify that this location here. It's the best we can do. There it is. And again, these pictures were taken in 2015. So that's the best I can get. I can't go down that street that the drone went down. But the best I can do is the landmark. Hello, tuning in from San Diego. How you doing, San Diego? Like the video if you guys haven't. Share the stream. Share the stream if you have not done so. Spam the reactions. Comment where you're tuning in from. Villainous, the pond near Russian embassy was painted red. Where's Villainous? So we have things happening at Russian embassies a little more frequently now here. In Lithuania. Vilnius is in Lithuania. So here it is on a map. So look at the red. And I'll zoom in. So the red is where the town is, or where the embassy is. Here's Ukraine. This is Kyiv, Belarus, Lithuania. We got Wisconsin's tuned in. Awesome. Thank you, Mike. The embassy in Vilnius. Wow. Somebody swam in it though? What the hell is that about? Alice, Texas, thank you. Montana. Lena, Wisconsin. New York City. Alma, Michigan, welcome. So there's the embassy. I wonder if we can find this pond. See if this video is junk or not. There would be the pond, right? Ew, they swam in that, dude? Hell nah. Couldn't be me. Hell nah. I wouldn't swim in that. Yeah, that roundabout's in Borodianka. Yes. Couldn't be me. That's the road right there that you see. That's the pond. Hello from Naples, Florida. Hello, hello. There's the pond from a distance back here. So there's the pond from a distance. You can't go down. This is the street to get down into the Russian embassy. Oops. Can't go there though. Here's one of the this is the one on the left. The one they painted is the other side though. The other side of the road. This is in Lithuania, the Russian embassy. That was apparently the pond was painted red. And Borodianka, cozy town, 50 kilometers. So if you're wondering what we were looking at before this, it was in the town of Borodianka, the roundabout. You think I was looking the wrong way down the roundabout? No. No. The buildings aren't built. They don't have those apartments yet. This is 2015, but this is the monument in Borodianka. Hello from Newfoundland, Canada. Hello, hello. So, and there it is in the newest video. Here's that, right? They had a NATO meeting today on something a NATO meeting. There's a NATO meeting, or you guys mean the UN? Let me see. NATO meeting. I have 2 questions about it on YouTube and then one on Facebook. NATO foreign ministers meeting in Brussels this week, 6 to 7 April 2022, will address Putin's brutal and unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. Allies are stepping up their support for Ukraine's right to defend itself, including with anti-tank weapons, air defense systems, and other equipment, as well as increased humanitarian assistance and financial aid. Moscow is not giving up its ambitions in Ukraine. We now see a significant movement of troops away from Kyiv to regroup, rearm, and resupply as they shift their focus to the east. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said today, 5 April 2022, ahead of the meeting, targeting and murdering civilians is a war crime. All the facts must be established, and all those responsible for these atrocities must be brought to justice. So I don't have anything new. Let me see a program. So today, you can look at the schedule at 1500. So it was updated at 5:03. What time is it in NATO time? How far ahead are they of us? I had it calculated before when I was in my other place of living. I can't remember now. So they had the arrivals today at 3:30. Again, this is 3:30 in NATO time. Arrivals. Looks like they didn't have anything important today, really. Tomorrow. What time is this, though? I need to figure out what time this is at. It's broadcast live on the NATO website, which means we can watch it. Meeting of the North Atlantic Council tomorrow at 1300, which is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We got one at 9:30 in the morning, and then they likely take a break, and then again at 1 o'clock. So right now it's almost noon here in Minnesota. It's almost noon here in Minnesota. Yeah, they had stuff going on. They had a doorstep statement. So here's the schedule, so you guys can see it for yourself. Doorstep statement by the NATO Security General. That's what they did. And then they had the arrivals of the NATO foreign minister. So they just walked that red carpet. It's 6:52 in Brussels. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 7 hours ahead. Yep, they're 7 hours ahead actually. So this would be dang. That'd be like 2:30 in the morning. Maybe it's 6 in the morning. Well, we'll have to we'll be watching the replay. Watching the clips coming out of it. It's almost noon here in Minnesota. They're 7 hours ahead. Yep. So tomorrow at 7:20 in the morning, which would be at midnight 20, doorstep by the Secretary General and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine. You might be able to watch this. This one we might watch we might watch this one live tonight on the stream. This will be at midnight 20. This will be at 12:20 midnight. So I might stick around for this one, and then the 9 a.m. stream we'll watch what we missed. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine will be providing a doorstep at 7:20 in the morning. That's an early day, huh? Here's the schedule for tomorrow. I've had many asking, when isn't it coffee time for real? Got to go to the NATO website to find the stream, but it looks like there's going to be video of it. Tuesday on the 5th of April. They didn't do anything.
Good afternoon. NATO foreign ministers will meet today and tomorrow. We will address.
This is right from the mouth of the NATO Security General on what they're doing. Here you go.
The brutal war in Ukraine, and we have all seen the atrocities that have been committed in Bucha and other places in Ukraine. This reveals the true nature of President Putin's war. Any targeting and killing of civilians is a war crime, and therefore NATO allies are supporting the international efforts to establish all the facts, to investigate, and to make sure that perpetrators are punished. We are now in the critical phase of the war. We see that Russia is moving forces out of the north to reinforce them, to resupply them, to rearm them, and then to move them into the east, where we are expecting a major offensive. President Putin's aim is to try to control the whole of Donbass and to establish a land bridge between Donbass and Russia. We have seen no indication that President Putin has changed his ambition to control the whole of Ukraine and also to rewrite the international order. So we need to be prepared for a long haul. We need to support Ukraine, sustain our sanctions, and strengthen our defenses and our deterrence. Because this can last for a long time, and we need to be prepared for that. We will be joined by Foreign Minister Kuleba from Ukraine, and I think it's important that we have this opportunity to engage directly with him, to discuss with him, to listen to Minister Kuleba, and also to discuss the way forward together. We will also be joined by other partners, the Foreign Minister of Georgia, Finland, Sweden, the European Union, and also by our partners from the Asia Pacific, Australia, New Zealand, Japan and South Korea. These are all highly valued partners. Tonight, foreign ministers will discuss NATO's new strategic concept, a strategic concept which will address, of course, the new security reality we are faced with. The strategic concept will be the roadmap for NATO on how to address a more dangerous world and how to make sure that we continue to protect and defend all NATO allies. In the strategic concept, we need to address the security consequences of Russia's aggressive actions, of the shifting global balance of power, the security consequences of a much stronger China, and the challenges Russia and China are posing together to our rules-based international order and our democratic values. But of course also in the strategic concept we will chart out the strategy for how to deal with cyber, hybrid terrorism, and also the security consequences of climate change. So I'm looking forward to the meeting, and
so including a whole bunch of other stuff in there as well. Climate change.
One of the issues that will be discussed at the foreign ministerial meeting today and tomorrow is how can we step up support for other partners which are under Russian pressure. And of course Georgia is one of them. Russia controls part of Georgian territory. And we will look into how we can provide more support both when it comes to everything from cyber to secure communications, capacity building, and other ways to strengthen Georgia in resisting the pressure from Russia. NATO's door remains open. The enlargement of NATO over several decades has been a great success, helped to spread democracy, the rule of law, stability, peace across Europe. And it is for the applicant country, the country aspiring for membership, and for the 30 allies to decide on membership issues. Russia and no other country has any veto on that issue. It is for the applicant and the 30 allies to decide.
This time, partner countries such as Japan participates. What is the aim for that?
We very much welcome that we have the Japanese foreign minister participating at the NATO meeting. It demonstrates the strong partnership between Japan and NATO. Japan has been a long-standing partner with NATO for many years, and I think that we all understand that even though Japan and NATO are geographically far apart from each other, we share the same values, we share the same challenges, and therefore we need to work closely together.
Okay, so that's something to look out for tomorrow. We'll be seeing the highlights from that. Bilateral meeting of NATO, Finland, Sweden, bilateral meeting with Australia, short remarks by the NATO Security General, made short remarks, and then tomorrow is the meeting of the North Atlantic Council and Foreign Ministers session with participation of partners, meeting of the North Atlantic Council and Foreign Ministers session at 1 o'clock as well. So that is with the NATO conference. The UN today was just doing something with South Africa. I don't think it had anything to do with Ukraine. Yeah, they run a feed like this a lot. Nothing on Ukraine though. Russia has pulled around 40 battalion tactical groups out of northern Ukraine. U.S. defense official says another 80 are still in southern and eastern Ukraine. Hey, we're at another hour mark, so let's go ahead and do a viewer check-in. Comment where you're tuning in from, what city, what state. Welcome to Mercado Media. Thank you to everybody that's sending super chats, stars, supporting the feed. This is a viewer-funded, viewer-sponsored stream. I don't have any sponsors or anything like that. No corporate interests, just me and y'all, or whoever's interested in this media. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, comment where you're tuning in from. Welcome to the feed. Shout out to our veteran community in the chat. That's been helping with some of the military information that that slips my mind from time to time. But I'm Andy Mercado from Mercado Media Productions. This is live here on April 6th. This is the morning feed. We got about another half hour to go, or about another hour to go. We're at the 12:09. Yeah, about another hour to go. I stream at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Central Time. We got Sheffield, United Kingdom. Welcome. Winstead, Minnesota. Good to have you. Welcome, welcome. San Jose, California, United Kingdom. Good to see you guys there. Hello from Buffalo, New York. Good to have you. The other thing too, y'all, that if you've been following local Minnesota news that I'm going to be going over after this stream, if you're interested, please follow me on Instagram. Is the Hennepin County, and again, I am speaking to people that have been focusing to local Minnesota and Minneapolis news. Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman announced this morning that there will be no charges filed against Minneapolis officer Mark Hanneman, the officer who shot and killed Amir Locke during a no-knock warrant. And that's interesting because Minneapolis supposedly banned no-knock warrants. So lots to talk about there and dig into, but we're going to be doing that on Instagram. Might have protests to go to. Might have to be out there again. So we'll see. We'll see. Champlin, Minnesota. West Jordan, Utah. Welcome. Watching from Denmark. Finally Legal Wake and Bake from Albuquerque. Checking in from California. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Mercado Media on YouTube and Facebook. Mercado Media on YouTube and Facebook. And thank you again to everybody that is a supporter and a member. Keeping it going. Let's hop back in. So, stop this war weapons. Stop sowing the death and destruction, Pope Francis reported as he's holding a Ukrainian flag passed from Bucha. So you got Russia's Black Sea Fleet launched more Onyx anti-ship missiles at ground targets in Ukraine. So they're using anti-ship missiles on ground targets in Ukraine from the Bastion coastal defense systems. Sowing season starts in Ukraine. In many places it looks like this. Ukrainian farmers extract Russian missiles from their fields. Russia's war against Ukraine has exacerbated world hunger. Other world exporters are unable to compensate losses of grain. Farmers having to take missiles out of their fields. My bad, that was very loud.
Русский корабль, иди нахуй.
Wow.
Серега. Русский корабль, иди нахуй.
Alright, check the list. Hope you guys are having a good early afternoon. We saw this earlier, but this is video from Bucha showing a civilian home, the fence of which was destroyed by an APC. And then they go and they show how the Russian soldiers were partying in the neighborhood or in the house.
Здесь грабили все. Вот мы видим, въезжал танк, вот остались следы от гусениц. Проломлена изгородь, то есть они вот так вот проламывали заборы, пробивали калитки и заезжали, вламывали двери. Вот здесь тоже был какой-то пролом, здесь тоже заезжал танк. Надпись «Здесь люди», но это наивная надпись, потому что на самом деле она никого ни от чего не уберегала. И вот здесь тоже видим пролом, то есть проезжал, очевидно, тоже танком снесли. Вот здесь гусеницы, следы от бронетехники. Вот танком просто въезжали во двор, все сносили. Здесь стоит машина поцарапанная, побитая. И вот здесь они пировали. Вот здесь даже остались какие-то шмотки, тоже их тельняшки, там это. Мы такое не трогаем, потому что здесь могут быть растяжки, да и вообще нафиг это надо. Ну и здесь вот разграбленное жилье чье-то. Все дома такие. Вот, ага, они бухали, здесь вытянули вискарь, как бы. Вот разграбили все, что могли. Здесь какие-то игры вытаскивали. Вот стоит как настольная игра, пытались украсть. Здесь вот какие-то тоже сумки лежат. Здесь вон тоже вещи вытянули, это они жрали, сидели здесь. Вот тут разгромлено все. Курили кальян, вытянули, вот жрали свой паёк. Русская армия. Здесь вон вытянули все, что спали, как животные, вытянули матрас. Сюда спали здесь. Мы не будем заходить дальше. Это чужое жилье, и тем более здесь может быть тоже заминировано все. Вот шампанское вытянули, но не успели выпить. Вот, просто я показываю вам картину, как выглядит после этих свиней. Это натуральная вот орда просто дикарей, которая ворвалась, все крушила, грабила здесь вокруг. И вот эти дома, вот я показываю здесь, вот здесь все так, оно все вот так вот разграблено. Вот вытянули рюкзак чей-то, бросили. Как бы что-то унесли с собой, что-то не унесли.
So especially at the end, lots of images. I mean, they had a hookah. They're drinking back here. Russian MRE used their they're chilling back here. Use that as a bed. We got a siren alert 4 minutes ago. More Russian trucks with improvised armor. Wow. Looks like some Mad Max shit going on here. What is that? Improvised armor. Is this here graveyard in Chernobyl where the civilian victims of the Putin? So this is a graveyard in Chernobyl. All right. You saw that? This is Russian forces in the Kharkiv Oblast. So, Kharkiv, eastern city, eastern border city. Over here. Eastern border city, you can see how much there isn't Russian forces to the northwestern and the western region of Kharkiv. But they're to the east still. Russian forces exist still to the east of Kharkiv. All right. 2 days ago, operational command east of the Ukrainian army posted video that claimed to show over 40 Russian vehicles destroyed by Ukrainian artillery fire on a Russian rear base. They said they couldn't verify the claim or the target. So it's a video of quote over 40, but I mean there's Russian vehicles in the video. Hard to see over 40 vehicles. So we have infrastructure and one Russian vehicle. The claim is that there were 40 vehicles. UAV footage showing a DNR tank firing on Ukrainian positions in Mariupol. This is from 11 hours ago. UAV footage showing a DNR tank firing on Ukrainian positions in Mariupol. So here's Mariupol, just a complete war zone city. The whole city is just war-torn. A war zone in every sense. This is a Russian video. Keep in mind, got RT, got the big RT watermark. So that's Russian state. This is Russia state media video. So it hits the building here. I mean, just look at the whole cities like that. Mariupol's down here to the southeast. Southeastern port city. Excuse me. Mariupol. All right. China has declared there is a no limits partnership between Beijing and Moscow. Perhaps it is time the EU states it seeks a similar strategic cooperation with Taiwan. No end limits, no forbidden areas, and no upper bound.
High Representative
Okay, what's this about?
Borrell, gullible is defined as someone who's deceived or tricked and too willing to believe everything that other people say. I'm afraid no word better describes the EU's relationship with China over the last few decades. China fooled the world on trade, the origins of COVID-19, and now they're trying to fool us on their support for Russia. Last year, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi reiterated that Sino-Russian strategic cooperation has no end limits, no forbidden areas, and no upper bound, aka the no limits partnership. High Representative, perhaps it is time the EU made clear that for every euro China supports Putin's and Russia's war efforts with, we will invest 2 in the defensive capacities of Taiwan. Perhaps it's time this House asked the EU and the member states that their relationship with Taiwan has no end limits, no forbidden areas, and no upper bound. Thank you.
Was there like 10 people in the room? Okay. So China has declared a no limits partner. Is there an article about that? China. No limits. No limit. take China Russia no limit relationship with a grain of salt. That's from CNBC, so no thank you. I'm not seeing like anything that's jumping out at me about something to be significantly worried about with that. That was likely a lobbyist, or what is this person? He doesn't really. I'm not seeing anything about that, about the no limits partnership with Russia and China in weeks, like a month. These are a month ago, so that's not relevant and accurate here. And like it was as even though these articles are weeks and a month ago, that's information moves faster now, so that's old news now. Here, Yahoo Finance. Does China's friendship with Russia really have no limits? For China stated 2 weeks before Russia invaded Ukraine that there is no limit for how far Russian and Chinese friendship may go, and signed a swath of huge oil and gas deals shortly thereafter that provided an additional layer of insulation to both from any U.S. sanctions in the future. Interesting. So 2 weeks before Russia invaded Ukraine, they signed a swath of huge oil and gas deals shortly thereafter that provided an additional layer of insulation to both. So they are already anticipating the sanctions. They knew, like, dude, they were made. This is all, however, signaling perhaps that Beijing did not believe that Russia would necessarily launch a full-scale invasion. I mean, when you're making oil and gas deals to prevent 2 weeks before the invasion, only a day after the military conflict spread to Ukraine's major cities, Chinese President Xi Jinping held an urgent talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin and advocated peaceful negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. So maybe China, opinion time. China could have been like, we weren't expecting you to go that hard. We thought y'all were gonna do something, but not that. It could have been one of those situations. It's probably one of those where China wasn't expecting Russia or Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin to do full scale invasion, but they definitely were making a basket of comfortability, or a way that they would have oil and gas deals in preparation for sanctions. At the same time, though, she added Beijing has refrained from calling Russia's actions an invasion and has abstained to vote on a UN Security Council resolution that would have deplored Russia's aggression against Ukraine. In addition, so far, China has not indicated an intention to take direct action against Moscow and has kept trading links with Russia open, she said. A key reason for this, over and above any ideological aspirations of a new world order, is that although Russia accounts for 2.9% of China's total imports, Moscow did resolutely step up to the plate in 2021 when China faced an energy crunch. As a result, Russia now accounts for 20% of China's coal imports. So China needed help in 2021. Russia said, we got you. And now they're even more in a partnership. And it's a share of China's imported crude oil that's steadily risen to 15.6% of the end in 2021. So resources are still the biggest. Listen, I highly recommend you guys play the game called Civilization. Highly recommend it. I might consider streaming it. I don't know what the entertainment value of that would be, but I highly recommend you guys play the game called Civilization. You'll understand how much resources go into decision making for governments. and wanting resources. Especially the United States with oil. Anything with oil, the United States is usually on that. Oil? Where? Oil? Where? We need it. We'll take it. What is this now? Step by step, the Ukrainian military is knocking racists out of our land and leaving it forever. Correspondents of the military television of Ukraine saw how the village with the singing name near Shugayev. So, Defense of Ukraine. This is from the Defense of Ukraine account.
Не, смотри, давай сейчас на первую улицу налево. Налево сразу. Это стоял в том лесочке. Там у них пост был. Потом они его туда перетянули, мы его там спалили. Вот у них техника стояла, вот видите, заход. Вот тут стояла. Вот стояла заход. Вот стояла заход. У них тут был блокпост. И засады они ставили по селу. И разграбовали магазины. Да, занимались мародерством у людей. Село подвергалось обстрелам, в том числе и с авиации. Край села неодноразово вертольоти обстрілювали. По селу проскочимо, ви побачите. Розрушені дома, техніку сожжену. На подворачивай, развернешься.
Тут их было несколько, вот это остальное признамо.
Тут во дворе. Пленных мы 6 человек взяли. Вон, видите их шмотки. Ну тут засада была. Здесь вот 4 человека их трупов. Они вот там вот заваленные. Тут была засада, они пулеметами сидели.
Одну війну пережили, тепер другу.
У нас все добре, у нас захисників багато. Ми їх любимо, вони люблять нас.
Чим багаті, тим і раді, розумієте? Ділимось з ними.
А ви швидше закінчили оце так підгляд.
Даємо поцілок.
Буду їх падлюкати тут. Слава Україні!
Швидше.
І хай дай Бог, все буде все добре. І хай швидше все закінчиться. Бажаємо всього самого сильного, щоб всі вернулися назад. Ось праздник Пасхи, щоб всі були вдома.
All right. It's from the Defense of Ukraine account. It's from Kharkiv. Another up-armored Russian truck in the Kharkiv Oblast. What kind of armor is that? And then here's the video.
Так, вперед, хуячим. Своим ходом едем.
This is Kharkiv. Some videos have them. The ones that are just music, I mute, but the ones that have sound with the music, I just turn it down a little bit because I'm trying to hear the sound. But yeah, fully. Could do without the music, but that's just the world that we live in now with TikTok, especially TikTok videos like this one. This is from the Chechen forces. Any Chechen videos you see from Kadriov's unit, you're gonna hear music. They're a TikTok. They post all their stuff on TikTok. This is a video, if you missed it, from about an hour ago, posted of Chechen forces using the RPO-A Shmel, which is a thermobaric weapon. It's banned, illegal for use in war because of its thermobaric capabilities. It's like a flamethrower rocket launcher. That's an RPG-7, so that's a different system than that one. All right. We saw the roundabout video with Chernobyl in Borodianka. We can see if there's any of the latest. Or actually, we need to speak the truth update as well. I missed it yesterday. We can go. Let's do John first, and then speak the truth, because I know some of you guys might have missed John's latest update. Or what did he say from his podcast as well? John Sweeney on Twitter.
Second and third episodes of Taking on Putin podcast about Vladimir Putin and why he does the things that he does, from Syndicate Productions here in Kyiv. It's the best sound studio in the whole of Ukraine. And what's great is, if Vladimir Putin doesn't like the content, the people here don't give a damn. Love from Kyiv. So I'm recording the second and third episodes of Taking on Putin.
And then here is the latest video.
Kyiv Diary Day 42 of Vladimir Putin's war. The electricity is still on. The internet is still on. There are no Russian tanks on my street or anything like it. And I'm still wearing my lucky orange hat. Life is getting back to normal. Still, there are some fiddly things. I've just been to buy some eggs, and there are no egg boxes and not enough. So what you've got to do is buy the eggs and then wrap them with cling film. And there was me and a queue of nice old ladies, and we're all waiting for this process to happen. And you can imagine why. It's because the egg box factory is somewhere being blasted to bits somewhere. And at the same time, you look at the city, you look at this street, Krashasik, and you think, what happened? It's some kind of nightmare. But the nightmare's for real, and in Bucha I saw it with my own eyes. And there's an issue about pictures, which lots of good people back home in London, around the world, are going, oh, please don't show those pictures. And I kind of get it, I understand it, but at the same time, I saw a man who had been executed, a bullet to his forehead, during the Russian army occupation. I also saw another man that had been shot in the back of the head. Now these are war crimes against civilians. Multiple incidents of this. But I think there is a problem with comfortable people in comfortable places in the West not truly understanding the depth, the intensity of the agony here. And so I think it's necessary for people to realize the reality, the truth of war, to see some of these pictures. I know it's difficult. but it's so much worse for poor people there. Hey, love from Kyiv.
All right. That's from John Sweeney. We don't need to see that. All right. Speak the Truth's latest video from Rob. From the military movements. And also, I asked Rob, he talks personally to a couple of the guys on the ground in the military on there. So people have been asking how Rob gets his information. Well, the reports, but he also, like we did, I mean, Mehmet, shout out Mehmet. He was our civilian that we had talked to him. He lives in Kyiv. So Rob has sources on the ground in Ukraine that are a couple Americans and a couple others that are helping.
How are you guys doing? Welcome over to the channel. If you guys are new, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. You guys don't want to miss out on the content we put out every single day over this conflict because it's ever changing. So this is the map we use. I have made
again full credit to Speak the Truth on YouTube. We've been tuning into Rob's videos since day 2 or 3, I think. Someone in the chat recommended, or no, someone actually sent Rob's video into our Discord server, and at the time they only had 20-some thousand subscribers. They're at 205K now, so he's doing well. He posts videos twice a day.
This map myself. I've used a lot of different resources to make this map. So blue, Ukraine, red, Russia. Pretty clear. All right, so up here in the northeast region and northwest region of Kyiv, you could tell there's no Russian forces. They've all been pretty much pushed out. Now, there was some up here north of Chernihiv and north of Mena on these border crossings. They're not there anymore. So I'm going to tell you guys, all these border crossings you're seeing, which I am now marking for you guys, these ones are now all controlled by Ukrainian forces. They've actually raised their flags above these areas. So now they're completely controlled by Ukrainian forces. There is a little bit of pocket just northwest of Sumy in the town of Pisky and Burin and Putyville. I would assume that they're just retrograding back. I don't think they're going to keep these forces up there. It would be really pointless to keep them there. So they're probably going to make their way back over here to Kursk, which we know is a logistical hub for the Russian military within Russia. And then they'll probably push them down to Belgorod and then into Kharkiv or over to Kupiansk. So, all right. Now we're going to talk about some stuff. So multiple countries actually started to expel Russian diplomats due to what has happened inside of Bucha. France is getting rid of 35 diplomats, Italy 30 diplomats, Denmark 15. Germany hasn't stated the exact number yet, but said they would be expelling a significant number. Sweden, total of 3. Anyway, there has been 180 Russian diplomats expelled across Europe in the last 24 hours. Russian troops actually hit a merchant ship under
his Lunkers TV. Listen, yeah, this isn't his first rodeo. It's not like he's brand new. I'm just saying this channel, I didn't know about him before this. I didn't know of him. I didn't know what he did. I didn't know what he was about. I only know about the Speak the Truth channel. But then now, he's got, here's his other channel. This is he's a big deal. Nearly 2 million subscribers. So he's got other content out there. Look at nearly hundreds and thousands of views of video here too. Almost 500,000 views. Yeah, he still does that. But now he does the Speak the Truth channel. But I didn't know about this until after the fact. This channel was very small when we found it.
Dominican Republic flag near Mariupol. The ship is currently on fire and sinking in the Sea of Azov. I have no idea if they thought that maybe it might have been a spy ship or something. I don't really know what they're going to claim. But they shot a civilian ship and it's currently sinking. And you guys all know Russia was going to deny everything that happened in Bucha. We knew that was going to happen. UN is actually going to be going in there, and Poland's actually trying to set up a council to go in and actually look at all the stuff that's happened, which is a good thing. But we all know clearly that Russia was going to deny anything that had happened there. So there's been some satellite imagery that has come out. I'm going to tell you guys right now. It came out that it was taken during the time that Russia held the area, and you could see the bodies laying in the streets in the exact same spot they were on the day that the Ukrainian forces came through and took it back and liberated it. I've seen multiple people actually commenting that they had seen armbands, white armbands on some of the people that were inside the photos and the videos. I'm not going to show you guys any of the photos and videos because they're terrible to see. And if you want to see them, you can go find them on the internet. They're everywhere. It's not my job to show you guys. I'm not going to do that because it's not a good thing. And it also goes against YouTube terms of service and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm asking you guys. So you guys seen this. My question to you. Now, we know that Russia is propaganda. This whole war is pretty much propaganda in both sides. It takes me a long time to decipher what's good, what's bad, and what's real, what's fake. So my question to the people who are saying that inside the comments, did Russia put these things, did the Russian forces, they put them on these civilians that were lying in the street or in these photos before they left to make you say that kind of, to make yourself think that? That's what I'm asking you guys. Like, to try and flip the script, to make it seem like the Ukrainian forces came there and actually took out Russian sympathizers, because that's what the white armband is supposed to mean, right? So I'm asking you, is this some other piece of propaganda? Because I did see some people saying, well, the Azaz regiment's up there. No, the Azaz you're talking about are actually down in Mariupol. Now, if we're talking about somehow we beamed them with a beam of light up to Kyiv in one day.
Rob's killing it every stream. I mean, for real. The even last night at the 9 p.m. stream, I had some people that I know personally that are unfortunately getting propagandized by Russia and Western media as the Azaz battalion. They're nowhere near Bucha. Nowhere near Bucha. That's near Kyiv, the capital city. That Azaz battalion is down in Mariupol, down near where they're propagandizing this shit. That's the justification that they're using to invade the whole country, or that they used. Bucha's up here. Do they teleport the Azaz battalion up here? No. They're relying on people's ignorance to not even understand geography, which is another huge factor, is understanding geography and geographical locations, and it's impossible that the Azaz battalion would be anywhere near up here because it's so, like, it's far as hell. Nowhere near. But yet they're going to use the justification that of the Azaz battalion and the history of that battalion for any moves that are made up here in Kyiv. Clowning. Super clowning. And it's unfortunate that I had some people that I used to respect in my chat last night that are falling for it too.
Now, I have no idea how they can't even get out of there. I'm just going to throw that out there. So how is that? How's that? Also, I want you to also explain the satellite imagery that is coming out and actually proves it, which I want to give the people props who actually went out and did all the research and had to go through and find all these images. It took somebody a long time, and I feel really bad for them, honestly, because I wouldn't have the patience to do it, but they did. So now you need to explain that. I know you're in the comments, you're getting crazy, but please, we all want to know. Everybody that's watching this video, they're reading the comments, they want to know. This is like a public discussion, right? So let's hear it. I want to know. But I'm sure more will come out today because Zelensky's actually going to be talking to the UN Security Council on the Bucha massacre. In the next 30 minutes, he's going to be talking to him. So I know a lot more.
Again, he hasn't posted his video yet, so this video is the latest, but it's not today yet. So this video is from yesterday. He hasn't posted one yet.
To come out, which we'll talk about tomorrow's video. But I also want to say this. Anthony Blinken spoke to press before departing for Brussels and said that the atrocities in Bucha are not that of a random act of a rogue unit. It's a deliberate campaign to kill, torture, and to rape. I know there's a lot of stories I haven't even talked about, which are absolutely terrible. I mean, they're so bad. I'm being honest with you. They're really bad. I don't even want to talk about them on here. They're that bad. So, and that if that's coming from Anthony Blinken, I know that President Biden came out and said he was swinging a little bit on Putin yesterday, just a tad bit, and I know that's gonna make him quite angry. So,
and that's apparently we had people in the chat saying Biden did another speech today. We need to find if we can pull up that the Discord Biden's press conference, or apparently he was going off today too. So we need to, if we have that in our Discord, please pull that up for me.
The EU has agreed to completely end all energy dependence on Russia, starting with coal and followed by oil and gas, which we know this is all the money that's coming into Russia is coming from their energy resources, and this is pretty much fueling their entire war. So now EU is coming out saying, no, we're not going to use.
Really quick, just to update you guys on a little piece of reporting from earlier, real fast, it's now confirmed. It actually turns out the claim was legitimate, with at least 35 vehicles destroyed or damaged. So this was the unconfirmed building that we were looking at, where I saw one vehicle, and even in the post it said we couldn't verify the claim or the target, and now it has been. Look at all the vehicles inside. There's a picture of all the vehicles, so there's the evidence. Little update on that. So the building that we saw in the clip, over, quote, 40 Russian vehicles destroyed, it's confirmed.
Use you at all. It's fairly big deal. So the main portion of this video, we are going to talk about maps. We always talk about maps. But I found this video that's coming out of Russia. And it was talking about how do normal Russians feel about their country invading Ukraine. So I thought it was really interesting. I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm going to actually share the video, but it's going to be in Russian, so you guys won't be able to honestly understand it, or most of you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and play this thing for you guys. So you're going to have to read the closed captionings, but it's very telling on how the Russian civilians feel. And I've seen multiple sides. I've seen them not like it, this whole thing, this whole war, and some that actually do like it. So here is this. It's very interesting.
Украина, как вы думаете, чем все закончится?
Надо ее снести с земли и все.
Украину?
Да.
Зачем?
А зачем она нужна?
А потом кого сносить еще?
Польшу. Просто до кучи.
Всех снести. А зачем? А что мы будем делать с этой территорией?
А это что вообще за страны такие? Украина. Это не страна. Это кусок Ленин тогда отдал в свое время. Вот. А это Прибалты, это вообще всю жизнь они были против России. Надо думать, прежде чем ты начал воевать, да, воевать надо с хохлами. Это однозначно. Тут никаких даже вопросов не может быть. Нацисты. С ними надо воевать.
А чем может закончиться? Вольнем хохлов. Больше никак нельзя. Вариантов больше нет.
А что будем делать с вот этой территорией разбомбленной?
Почему разбомблены? Операция идет нормально вроде как, без всяких там этих. Начнут ковровые бомбардировки, так это их уже дело. И вот эта падаль нацистская, вы теперь спрашиваете, что мы с ним будем делать? Вольнем.
Украина станет вторичным государством, которое не будет принимать ни в чем участие. А мы будем забирать эту землю себе.
Правильно считаете?
Это так и было раньше. Все возвращается к своим истокам.
Вы знаете, очень трудно сказать, потому что если... Все зависит, что Америка будет делать. Она пока боится выступить, очень боится. Потому что у нас есть очень сильные несколько ракет, которые снесут вообще Америку, если их запустят. Они их не запускают. Они вокруг, один раз провели вокруг Америки, и после этого те заглохли.
Думаю, что все закончится нормально, но дело в том, что мы же ее потом поднимать будем. Вот весь ужас в чем. Нам же эту Украину потом опять отстраивать, от промышленность им создавать и прочее, прочее, прочее.
Мне кажется, что, наверное, мы все-таки возьмем под крылышко всех этих бедных граждан, и все будет хорошо. Я думаю, что Путин создаст для них лучшие условия для жизни и там, и здесь, и даст там достойное образование людям и хорошую жизнь спокойную, все-таки стабильную. Я думаю, что все наладится и все будет хорошо. Мы все-таки дружные народы.
So that's one side of the thing. Now, I have said this multiple times. I do believe there is a very strong core group of people that do believe what is going on inside of Ukraine is really for the greater good of Russia as a whole. And as you could tell, they don't like Poland. They say they're going to go after Poland next, and they would be fine with it going after Poland and all the Baltic states and everything like that. But there's also videos coming out of Kostroma, Russia, which is a city, of an individual taking down a Z. So they are starting to put these big letter Zs throughout the country, which would remind me of what? Swastikas. Once again, I know this sounds really crazy, but the stuff that we're seeing resembles exactly what we saw in the 30s before World War II really kicked off. So.
And damn it, that symbol became something from the beginning, day 2 or 3 or 4. I mean, we saw the Z is literally just the indication for the Eastern Military District. Every Russian vehicle has a different letter on there. Every Russian vehicle has a different indicators from where they're from. And the propaganda behind this is that that's like their worst unit. The Z on the trucks, it's the most, all it is in take away emotion and reality, or excuse me, take away emotion and feelings, is that Z is just Eastern Military District vehicles, and it's the most seen, right? That Z is the most seen element out there. It's the worst one. So why not turn your worst unit out there into like the scariest, you know what I mean? That's how propaganda works. Turn your worst unit, that's like cannon fodder, into something the world needs to fear. The world needs to fear this Z unit, the letter Z now, even though they're fucking terrible. Gotten destroyed out there, the Z unit. Damn it.
Here is that.
Turn the worst. They were getting destroyed. Absolutely. I'm sure their conscripts are mostly in that Eastern Military District. That's what the Z comes from. It's not like the Z is like a secret, like hidden, like Nazi symbol or something. They're taking the letter that's on their vehicles and making it a fear symbol. And apparently Russia's putting it up in their Like, what the hell?
So as you guys can see in these images, Czech Republic is now transferring T-72s and BVP-1s to Ukraine, which I believe is actually the first time a foreign country has provided any tanks directly to Ukraine. So the Czech Republic's coming out and doing that. I would assume we might see a little bit of tension rise between Russia and the Czech Republic for doing this, but I don't know. We'll see. So here we're going to go over to the map. So Kyiv, over the next few days, we're going to continue to see more and more footage come out in the areas we once held by Russians. We do know this. The one I actually want to show you is coming from Borodianka, which is over here, if you guys don't know. So Borodianka is right here.
Right. Don't say Russians. Like that Z symbol. Like, are you talking about the orange? Are you talking about the orange band one? That came from like a faction in Russia, like the super far, like a far right conspiracy party that's been trying to appease it into the Kremlin, and now they're using it
a few separate times. And I told you this is one of the weak points of the Russian forces when they were actually here. So here is that video. And I'm also not going to try to name every single piece of equipment you're going to see overlaid right now, but it is shown that some stuff that had been left behind and or destroyed as the Russians were actually retreating. It's kind of crazy to see, knowing that this is only a very small piece that what's actually left to clean up. Just looking at all these images, I mean, look at all this. All this just
I appreciate that, Jerry. Thank you so much.
Destruction and death that's came out of this one area. And it's all just going to come out over the next couple of days. We're going to see more videos, more photos, more everything. I mean, just take a look at this photo by itself. This is the main street in Bucha. Look at this thing. I mean, it is absolutely littered with tons of BMPs and tank, everything else. It's just crazy. It's absolutely insane. And one of the reasons why I believe we're going to see more stuff come out today when he's talking to the UN, that is Zelensky. Sumy governor has actually stated that he's now seen 3 civilian bodies that have been found in areas that are now being retaken by Ukrainian troops.
Actually, so hold on really quick. I know it's because there's stuff coming out right now too. I'll talk about it afterwards. I'll talk about it after. We'll finish this video and then I'll talk about
it. That have been indicating...
It doesn't have to do with Ukraine, but I want to let you guys know after we're done. Well, I'll talk about it in the wrap-up. We're almost done here. We're almost done.
Evidence of being tortured. So once again, we're seeing the same thing, and that's why Secretary Blinken actually stated this, that they don't think this is just a rogue unit. I mean, this is talking, we saw it in Kyiv, in Bucha, and now we're seeing it over in Sumy. So we have no idea what's actually going in all the other areas that are held by the Russian forces as of right now. So we're going to move over here to Rubizhne. So you guys said you guys wanted the maps more fluid. So here we go. Now we can actually move. You can see where we're going. There's Kharkiv. Here is Izium, which we know was contested for quite a long time. So there's Rubizhne right there. We're going to back up just a tad. So the image you're currently seeing is actually apparently of a projectile hitting a tank filled with nitric acid in Rubizhne. It has now been noted that all civilians must remain inside and wear masks. That is coming directly from the Ukrainian side of things. Now, actually, I've pulled something from a Russian source who is claiming that the Ukrainians have blown up a chemical plant while retreating. They have noted that the chemical smoke poses a danger threat to the local population. So here is that video. So this is one of those kind of instances where you don't know which side is telling the truth. Either way, they're in Rubizhne. There is currently a chemical plant of some sort, which looks to be apparently nitric acid, is on fire, which is probably not a good thing for people to be breathing in. But anyway, we know that there are a lot of troops building up for the Russian forces here and here. And it has been noted that they are starting to move into here as well. So we're going to go ahead and just annotate that for you guys right now. I will say now they have been moving out of Izium and staging and setting up more defensively held positions along this line right here. Okay. The Russians have been setting up more defensively held positions on this MO3 route to the north side of Sloviansk. I believe they're going to try to attempt to take Sloviansk here very, very soon. A lot of the troops that we have seen leave the northern side of Sumy and Kharkiv excuse me, not Kharkiv, but Kyiv. We're going to see them start moving into Kupiansk, I believe, and then moving south. So we should see a bunch of troops start amassing inside of these areas to then make a push. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up because I think this is the best way to put it. I think we're going to see over the next week or so, we're going to see a major push, an offensive coming from this way and this angle to try to pinch off all the Ukrainian troops inside of here. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to take this that quick. They haven't been able to take Mariupol, as we know, over 7 weeks now. But this will be a very decisive, this will be a decisive point in the entire conflict. The entire war will be Sloviansk. Sloviansk will be one of the most crucial areas for the Russian forces. So that's pretty much that. So we're going to go ahead and move.
Sloviansk, he says. Come on. Come on, map. Uh-oh. Are you freezing on me? There we go. That's this area. No, it's in here. That would definitely be significant. A significant piece of land. That's in here. That he's suggesting that if the Russian forces pinch this off, it'd be north. Okay.
South, we know that every single one of these areas, I'm not even kidding. I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up just before we can move down. Every single one of these areas moving down, as I am circling, has been hit by artillery over the last 12 to 24 hours. So they are really trying to make a push and to find an area where they can actually push through one of these really, really strong fortified defensive positions that the Ukrainians have set up. So we're going to go down to Mariupol. Mariupol have not changed very much when it comes to ground taken by either side. So I have not even annotated it. To be honest with you, it's not really worth it because no one really knows because it's still house-to-house fighting. So Russian media has actually claimed to have captured somewhere between 250 to 300 prisoners. I'm going to share that video with you guys right now. And I want you to notice, real quick, how clean the uniforms are.
Clean and armbands. I bet you he's going to point out the armbands. I haven't seen this video yet. The uniforms are clean. And where is the blue or yellow armbands?
Let's go and throw that one out there. I don't want to be a conspiracy theory guy, but I know after 6 to 7 weeks, they probably should be a tad dirtier. I'm not saying this isn't true. I'm also not saying true. This is from the 503rd Marine Battalion, but they've also came out publicly and said that it's not a video of their troops, and they denied the entire thing, but they're still fighting down there.
Cap.
I don't know which side to believe. Once again, this is a war of propaganda. But if it is true and those men actually did lay down their arms, I'll give them props. They have fought longer, way longer than anybody ever anticipated. That's pretty much that. I don't fault them for it. I still can't believe that Russia hasn't taken Mariupol, to be honest with you. That's why we talk about Sloviansk. You have no idea. That's going to be extremely difficult for them to do anything there. All right, so if you guys are wondering what Mariupol actually looks like today, here's your update on what it looks like. Here's some drone footage.
Mariupol. Again, the video he's showing right here. The last city remaining. The last city remaining down here.
And if you're wondering what it looks like from the ground, guess what? We have a destruction video of what's going on from a civilian that's walking around, showing you guys what looks to be an apartment complex that now looks like absolutely nothing. It's pretty terrible.
Это наша улица, переулок Ровенский. Ой, сегодня, не знаю, 2 апреля, по-моему. Это наши любимые 9-этажки. Короче, мой район с детства, которого больше нет вообще. А вот моя улица, переулок. Ни одного живого дома. Вообще. Все в хлам.
So we're just going to move a little more west here. Now, there hasn't been a lot of ground taken by either party over here near Mykolaiv. There is still some pretty heavy fighting going on in this region and here. I don't believe that the Russian forces are trying to make any advancements inside this area right now. They're still trying to grasp and get a hold of Kherson. They're having a lot of problems with civilians inside of that area, so they're having to use a lot of their forces to maintain what they have there. Other than that, no real change. Ukrainian forces are still trying to push down through here, which they might be able to make some headway here soon. If they can't, then pretty much it's just a stalemate inside this area. So that's pretty much it. I do love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me over here in the channel. You know,
all right, that's Speak the Truth. Let's look at one more update, and that might be it for me for this afternoon too. Well, I'm gonna be busy today, guys. We have news to cover today. I have to go out and cover something. I get to go out and cover some news today myself. Video of Ukrainian strike on a Russian tank in Luhansk. Let's check this out. We see, so this was geo-confirmed. We got the location of this one too. This is the civilians that were hit. Pull up that location right here. There's no spot for our guy. Oh, there we go. No. So they hide in this. They hide here. They run into here, and then so the camera's at a different angle. The camera is where my mouse is, looking towards where the car is. First Wednesday of the month, dude. That just threw me the hell off. They got to change the first Wednesday of the month sirens or something. All right. That's wild. All right, so here it is, just facing the other way. Geolocated, geo-confirmed. Yep, I'm going to be at the Hennepin County Government Building today. Yeah, Speak the Truth on YouTube, and then his Lunkers TV channel as well. You guys can figure out how to support his other work. So right in the middle of the road here. So you can see that building, this building here on the left side of the camera is this building. Right here. Again, the video is from the camera is like on this building up here. Yeah, first Wednesday of the month, they put the sirens off. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. The next stream I'm going to be doing is on Instagram right after this. I'm going to do a short safety meeting, maybe go grab some lunch, but I got to get down to Minneapolis here. I do. I need to get downtown Minneapolis. This is where I live, y'all. Anybody remember the riots in Minneapolis? I was down there. I was out there. The riots in downtown Minneapolis, I was out there providing coverage. So I live in Minnesota. I cover local news when I can. I haven't been able to in the last month, but thank you guys again so much. The breaking local news, if you guys are wondering, that I'm going to be covering, or if you're interested in getting some information on it, is in relation to the killing of Amir Locke in Minneapolis. No charges were filed against the Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman announced no charges against the officer who shot Amir Locke. So there's a press conference at 4:30. All right, so I'm going to be down there at 4:30 p.m. I'm likely only going to stream that to Facebook, y'all. I'm going to stream that to Facebook only, press conferences. I will see what I can do. It's multi-streaming off of a mobile. I don't have a satellite yet. I don't have satellite backpack. I only have mobile data, and I can do it sometimes, but it depends on my service out there. It depends on how good the service is, and if it's bad, it's going to be Facebook only, because that's where the majority of our people are right now. YouTube, we're working on it. We're near 40,000, but Facebook, we're nearing 100,000 followers. So the press conference will likely be Facebook only. We'll see again what I have for internet and connection capabilities. I'll do the best I can to get a signal to YouTube, but if not, it will likely just be on Facebook. So I'll be discussing the Amir Locke case on Instagram. I can't go live on Facebook on my personal Facebook account for 30 days. I'm banned due to a April Fool's joke. So I'm not able to go live on my personal Facebook account. So I'm going to be going live on Instagram. So drop a follow on Instagram. Again, here's the account, the Guru Merc, same as the Twitter, same as my personal Facebook, all that. Follow me here on Instagram, and I'll be doing a talk about it. All right, and then I'll be live in Minneapolis tonight at 4:30 on Facebook, and then of course we'll be back on YouTube again for the coverage of the war in Ukraine at 9 p.m. Thank you guys so much for choosing Mercado Media Productions. Like the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, make sure you're following the page, turn your notifications on. Turn your notifications on, all right? So you guys do not miss a stream. Thank you to all of our supporters, to all of our members, to everybody. This is a viewer-funded, crowd-funded stream. I don't have any sponsors at this time, so sponsored by you guys. All right, see you on the Instagram. See you guys downtown Minneapolis. And then if you're not interested in that at all, see you guys tonight for the Ukraine war coverage at 9 p.m. All right, see you guys then. Take care.